and welcome to my channel. My name is Sandy and this is the Sister Cousin Lifestyle channel. Over here I do a lot of home decor and I try to dabble in a little bit of DIYs, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I'm going to be participating in a challenge that is called Nailed It or Failed It. And you're going to be the judge of it. But this is an open collab that is hosted by Mama Dares to DIY and Sweet Urban Rose. And I'm going to be linking their channels in the description box below, as well as the playlist for this collab, so that you can check out all of the other creators and what they came up with for this collab. So I love Mackenziechilds, and so I am going to be attempting a project that is inspired by Mackenziechilds, the courtly check. That's my favorite, but I can't afford the price, so I'm going to try to recreate something real quick and see what you think of it. Okay, so this is my inspiration for this project. It is a cookie jar with the courtly check enamel lid, and the jar kind of lays like at a slant. This cookie jar retails for $58 and is currently on back order, so it's in high demand. But this is my inspiration for this project. Here's another item that I thought was really cute too and looked really simple to make, so I decided to throw this in too. I'm going to give this one a shot. It is a whisk with the courtly check around it, and it is $32 is what it sells for. And as you know, you can pick up those whisks at the Dollar General or Dollar Tree for $1 or a couple dollars depending on where you get it from, but certainly not $32. So I'm gonna give this one a shot as well. Now, the only thing that I had to purchase for this project was some contact paper. I already had a slanted cookie jar, which is what I'm going to use here. So what you see me doing here is removing the hardware from the jar so that I can put the contact paper on. Now, the checked contact paper you can find almost anywhere. I found it at Dollar General, but they also have it on Amazon. They had it at Old Time Pottery, and I believe I saw it at Hobby Lobby as well. It's about $2.99 for a roll. So I just have the check, and what I need to do now is to just cut it out and put it on the lid. The hardest part here is going to be to get it smooth and get the bubbles out. It is a self-adhesive contact paper, so I don't have to worry about any glue or anything like that, but just getting the measurements correctly and then getting it all mashed in and, you know, all the bubbles taken out so that it's a nice smooth surface. I don't do a lot of DIYs, so I only can do things that are like super simple. So this is like a DIY for beginners, okay? Whenever I attempt something, it's because I know it's pretty much a easy thing here. So I'm just pressing it down here, which I had hoped would get all the bubbles out, but it didn't. Once I got it cut, or got it on there, then I used my X-Acto knife to kind of cut it around it. Now, at this point, I had already realized that using this contact paper around the sides of the lid was probably not going to be a easy thing to do, because it was hard enough trying to get the contact paper to lay flat. So I have this tape here with the smaller check on it that I got from Dollar General as well. And I knew that I was going to be doing some black and white decor later in the season. So when I saw this at Dollar General, I had picked this up. So I already had this in my stash. So I decided to just go ahead and put that along the sides of the lid, just because it was a lot easier to work with. So I'm just mashing it in and again trying to get the bubbles out of it and everything. And then what I'm going to do is just clip that around and use my X-Acto knife to cut around the excess under there. So that was pretty simple. It made it a lot easier. The contact paper just wasn't going to be easy for me to work with around the side. So it's got a couple of or two different types of check on it, but that is perfectly okay for me. It is Mackenzie inspired. Mackenziechilds inspired is not exact. and that works for me. I just love the check. I love the black and white. So I think I'm going to be happy with it the way that it is. So it's kind of unique. And so I'm just continuing to make sure that that tape and the contact paper is secure and as smooth as possible. That is so important. So that's what I'm doing there. And then I went to Hobby Lobby to look for the knob on there because I wanted to replicate it as close as possible to the original. So Hobby Lobby had that for $5.99. And of course I had my coupon, Retail Me Not, to get my 40% off. And so that's what I did. And it didn't bother me that it was clear because I said I could always paint it to make it red. The most important part is it had the gold hardware because the original had the little gold around it. So I wanted to make it as close as possible. So I'm just removing the hardware off of that. I already had some acrylic paint on hand. Probably would have been better if I had some spray paint, but I didn't have the red spray paint. So I'm using what I have. And I'm just going to spray or paint the crystal part of it. I'm just checking to make sure it fits and everything first. So now I just have my little paint. Again, I have that little paint set that I found at Burlington's for $5.99, and I've used it for another project, and there's plenty of paint in there for other projects, so it worked out perfectly. So I'm just painting it now and getting it all ready to be put on here. So it's all set, and I am now putting it on. I think it looks kind of cute. I think I pulled it off. I think that it's a pretty good replica, if you will. And so now I'm going to put it on the jar. Again, I said it's a slanted cookie jar that I already had. So there it is. So tell me, what do you think of this? Did I nail it or did I fail it? I'm pleased with it. It was a fraction of the cost. I did not pay $58 for it. It was probably $6 at best for that. So I'm going to move on now to the next part of my project, which is the whisk. Now, I underestimated this because I thought it was going to be super easy, but it was not, because it was really hard to work with the tape with the handle because the handle was, different widths and everything. So it was very, very hard to get the tape to lay flat on there, but I thought I'd give it a shot anyway. I already had the tape, so figure how bad could it be? Famous last words. It was very, very difficult to work with, but I gave it a shot anyway, just trying to roll it around the handle on here and to get it as smooth as possible, getting all of the air bubbles out. Like I said, it was, a lot harder than I thought, and it didn't take me long to realize that it just was not going to lay flat like I wanted without some help. So I ended up using some Mod Podge on it to try to see if I could get it to smooth out a little bit better. But it turned out the way it did. It's kind of crazy looking. I couldn't match up the checks and everything, so I did the best that I could, and I'm happy with it. Whenever I can create anything, I am usually pleased with it, to just look at it and say, well, I did it. It may not be perfect, but I gave it a shot. So that's where I am with this. So I'm just putting the Mod Podge on and going to let that dry and see what happens. Once it did dry, the top portion of it was really still not laying flat, so I ended up finding a little piece of ribbon that came off of something else in my house, and I just decided to use some E6000 glue on that. So that's what I ended up doing. So it looked cute in the end. I did the best that I could. So tell me, what do you think? Did I nail it or did I fail it? All right, thanks so much for watching. Again, a special thanks to Mama Dares to DIY and Sweet Urban Rose for hosting this wonderful challenge. I had a lot of fun doing it. I did the best that I could. I'm happy with my little projects. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you're inspired. If you're not a DIYer, there's still some things that you can do. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll check out the playlist that will be linked in the description box below. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, please be sure to subscribe today before you leave and hit the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I upload a video. Until next time, bye-bye.